part, it is full of books of ideas and poems and finger plays and music. The list just goes on and on. So you heard Evan say you need to have a variety of tools in your toolbox. We have them in the resource room. We have an AccuCut machine, which is fabulous for cutting out items. If you are wanting to make 50 hearts because you're doing an incentive, maybe with your kids for memorizing Bible verses or something, don't think, oh, how long is that going to take me in front of the TV? We have a very cool machine that will do it for you in, well, you have to crank it, but in 5 minutes you can have some wonderful things. This large red binder has samples of everything that we have. So look at that, the snowflakes and the snow mittens and things like that. So look for this, it's on the file cabinet, and again, it will save you a lot of time. We have maps in there as well, and we have access to, we have a laminator. I typically will do your laminating for you. You just need to leave it on the counter and let me know when you need it. I'm there every Sunday, typically, from 8:30 in the morning until 10:30, and then during the week I come in quite often as well. So if you leave me a note, I'm sure that I'll see it during the week. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to seeing all of you in the resource room.
We are going to do a quick fire update on our policy handbook. I know many of you have been through the little short handbook training that we've done in the past, but we've made a change or two in the handbook this year, and so I wanted to give everybody all the same information. We do child dedications. When we do child dedications here at First Fruit, we always have a class the week before the dedication. And one of the things I do with parents, as we talk about our nursery and children's ministry in general, is I give new parents a copy of this policy and procedure handbook, and I go through a little bit with them, kind of tell them what some of our policies and procedures are, because of course, you know, parents' number one concern is for the safety and well-being of their child. And it's just, you know, I always tell them, this is not just a book of good ideas that I hope someday we achieve. I tell them this is really what we do. I'm sure we don't do it perfectly because humans are involved, but these are definitely our working policies and procedures. So know how seriously we take these things. It seems like, you know, such a dull topic to be having to look at policies and procedures, but it does cover some important things that we want you to know because you are the ones who are with kids. The first thing in the book on page 2, it talks about forms. All people who volunteer have to fill out an application to volunteer. We have one form that is a 2-page form that you just fill out one time. And then after that, you fill out a renewal, which is just a 1-page form. Hopefully you remember, if you ever filled out the 2-page form, then tonight all you need to pick up is the 1-page form. If this is your first time to work in children's ministry, then you can pick up the 2-page front. It's just a front and back. It's not like 4 pages. It's just two pages. Pick that up. We also, this year, this is the change, we are going to begin doing background checks on all volunteers and paid workers every year. Our policy before was every year we did background checks on paid workers, and we did a random sample of our volunteers every year and did a background check on it. But we determined that a more prudent thing to do is that we will do background checks on all volunteers and all paid people every single year. So we have a release form for that, but again, if you fill that out one time, you don't need to fill it out again. But if you haven't filled it out, those are over there as well. So please pick up whatever paperwork you need. Also, we ask or we require that people wait 6 months of being involved with the church before they serve. just so we get to know them, they get to know us. Hopefully they can go visit some of the classrooms, just kind of see what we're about. We require 2 adults in every classroom. One of those, at least one has to be over the age of 18. So in some cases we might have an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old in a classroom. But in every room has to have at least 2 people. And there are very few of you who will only be working, I would say none of you will only be working with one person. We usually have 3 or 4 people in every classroom situation. And that is because it's best for children and it's best for our workers as well. Part of what Evanel talked about as far as getting started on time, that is also part of our security plan. We don't want children going to rooms that are empty. We don't want parents to have to wait until service has already started before our rooms are staffed. And so we require that if you're serving, you're in the room ready to go 15 minutes before that service starts. So for 9 o'clock, you need to be in the room ready to go at 1/4 till. I mean, you can be doing things in the room, but you need to be in the room at 1/4 till. And for the people who serve at 10:45, you need to be in the rooms ready to go at 10:30. It really is a huge deal. It's very uncomfortable to have parents have to wait and then be late to church while we wait on our volunteers. Now, we do know sometimes cars break down, things happen. There's much grace to give, but do your best as much as you can to be there early, to be ready to go at 1/4 till, or 15 minutes before the hour starts. Our practice at First Free is all children under 4th grade must be picked up by a parent. Our 4th and 5th graders are in the basement. Our preference is that parents drop off and pick up, but we have about given up. And so 4th and 5th graders can go to Sunday school and be dismissed from Sunday school unless a parent says they don't want that. If a parent says we want you to, we want to come get them, then that's what we'll do. But everybody else has to be picked up by a parent or a designated family member. You'll get more of that training with your preschool and nursery and elementary areas, but that is part of our security plan as well. We do not want children in our midst if they are sick, and we don't want you in our midst if you're sick, so be sure. Marcia in the preschool area has a great sub list. We have subs available in all areas, nursery and elementary, so be sure to call if you need a sub because you're ill. If you have a child that comes to your room who's ill, the nursery and the registration pages that you have in your notebook in your classroom will have a call light number on it if the parents are in the service. The call light number doohickey thingy is in the nursery, and it's very simple to use, but someone can help you from the nursery put in the call light number for that family. So if they're in the church, if they're in the worship service, they'll go to the nursery desk, and then we can get them to you to pick up their child if they're sick. We do take attendance every time we have children in our care. Very important. One of your big jobs on Sunday morning is to have somebody in your classroom who will take attendance. Not only the children who are there, but also all the adults and teens who are there. So we want to know everybody who was in the room during that one service time. If you become aware or suspect in a child that's in your care in the classroom that they have been molested, injured, that there's something that you feel needs to be reported, you need to let your director know immediately, and we will look into it. Another situation is if you observe anything on Sunday morning, we take very seriously children being safe while they're here. God has been very gracious to us. We've never had an incident at First Free of a child being, an allegation even being made about a child being molested or hurt in any way while they were in our care. But those things can happen, and they happen in good churches. So you are really the eyes and ears. We have a lot of great policies in place, but if you see something that looks funny, you witness a child that looks afraid, and maybe something doesn't seem right, please tell somebody. We don't want you to wonder what you should do about that. Please tell us if you have observed something that doesn't seem right. Your different departments will talk about diapering and bathroom procedures and all of that, but those are the basic updates from the book. I would encourage you to keep this. It is a copy in your notebook. But if you have any questions, you wonder about something, you see we're not doing something that's in here, please let your director or myself know. Children will bring offering to Sunday morning ministries, and our offering this year, as last year, will be going to Kabale, Uganda, to an orphanage called the Father's House. It was one of the places Maggie Black and I got to visit 2 years ago when we went to Africa. The Father's House has boys and girls, 100 orphans that live there. It's connected to a church. And so the money that we give goes for the ongoing life care of the boys and girls. So school supplies, food, medical care, those kinds of things. It costs $540 for one child for 1 year. So that's what our money goes toward for the missions. We will have a Mission Sunday kickoff in October where we will get some more information. We'll have more information going out to parents. It'll be a bigger push. We do that on Mission Sunday. But just want you to know, when they bring their money, if someone asks, where does this go for? It's separate. It's kept separate in the budget, and it is all of 100% of it goes to the Global Orphan Project for the kids in Kabale. Okay, we are at the end of our big group time. I hope you're not exhausted. I see a few people yawning. I'm sorry that things go on and on. This is what the rest of our time will look like. We're going to go out into the courtyard and have lovely snacks. You can, if you haven't gotten a name tag or signed on a little attendance sheet, there's 3 tables set up out there. I need you to sign in that you were here, put a name tag on, and then we're going to break up into our departments. So, if you are working in the nursery with Jill Yowell as your director, you are going to go downstairs to room B3. So if you go in the elevator, down the elevator, it's the first door on your left when you step out of the elevator. Everybody who's serving in the nursery. If you're serving in the preschool wing, you will go down to the Shine wing, downstairs into the green room. Some of you will sit on 4-year-old size chairs, and some of you will sit on big people chairs. You might want to hustle down if you have a preference. And then elementary teachers, kindergarten through 5th grade, we will go to B11 and 12 down in the basement. So we're doing good on time. Let's take 5 minutes, get your snack, name tag, sign in, and then we'll head off to our visit among yourselves, meet somebody you don't know, build community among our Sunday morning staff, and then we will move to our department meetings. Thank you all.